Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological cycle. I'm going to be talking about having a Pisces Mercury in the natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mercury signs, and they were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on the Mercury signs in the natal chart, and make them a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, Mercury, of course, is connected with communication. So having a Pisces Mercury, a person may often prefer to communicate with others. It could be in isolation when they're just by themselves. They go online, or on the phone when they're in their home when no one else is around, or they might find a secluded spot to talk to somebody. Communications may often be ambiguous, and sometimes Pisces Mercury may speak, but it may be a little bit ambiguous and misconstrued by others. But a lot of their communications may be based on intuition, as far as, like, say for example, when to call somebody, when the timing is right on something. They have to be careful too, people with Mercury in Pisces, because Mercury, being in Pisces, naturally being, of course, a water sign, and emotions may often cloud, the rational and logical thinking. They could be a little bit timid and reticent too in their communications, and may often, have trouble, sometimes, speaking out on things. Also, too, Pisces Mercury people often have the ability to see the whole picture in something, where Virgo Mercury will emphasize the details more. Pisces Mercury is really, more about seeing the whole picture, and they may often talk about their dreams, their fantasies, ideals, anything related to Pisces, which would include the paranormal, poetry, dancing, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, as some examples. Chemistry is another example. Now, another thing with Mercury and astrology, Mercury is associated with thinking and assimilating information. And the person, as I stated before, with the communication, could be about isolation, being able to think more when they're in a place of solitude and seclusion and isolation. They may often be ambivalent, though, in their thinking. Their thinking may be a little bit chaotic and confused at times, and scattered. And also, they may be unrealistic, as an example, as far as what can be done, in a certain amount of time. Mercury and Pisces people have to be careful too, in terms of gullibility, and not, trying, to be careful not to believe, a lot of things people say. And also, being the mind may be impressionable as well, and especially, if you have like a Pisces sun as well. A Pisces sun, sun is the basic fundamental character of a person. And a Pisces sun, the basic character can be impressionable, and has to really be prudent regarding, the environment that he or she is in. As far as the thinking and assimilating information with Pisces Mercury goes, it might be a little bit convoluted at times, and the emotions can impact the thinking very strongly. Now, another thing too is that Mercury is associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So someone with a Pisces Mercury, one or more of those people may actually be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody the characteristics of the sign. These could be people that may be dreamy and idealistic, compassionate, forgiving, sacrificing, maybe deceptive and duplicitous, though. And it could be that one or more of these people can simply be, in a Pisces, profession, whether it's working, in chemistry, poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology, or the metaphysical as an example, which includes astrology. Mercury is also connected with the early education. So the early education for Mercury in Pisces, some of it may be a little bit unclear or nebulous. There may be trouble remembering certain things that may have had some significance in connection with their early education, and also self-deception, being it may be being overly idealistic or unrealistic what one was able to accomplish in scholastic matters. Being a little bit timid and reticent to, Mercury and Pisces, as I was stating before, and at times may have some difficulty in speaking up or out about things. And the thing too is, but at the same time, during the early education, the person may have expressed a lot of altruism and sacrifice for his or her classmates, been very idealistic regarding them, trying to overlook the transgressions of these people, and also may have taken a course associated with Pisces, whether like poetry or dancing or photography or chemistry or oceanography, even if any of those were available at the time. Mercury is also connected with short journeys. So having a Pisces Mercury with the short journeys, a lot of them may have been convoluted, or there may have been some confusion, and not always knowing where he or she actually was going to go, where the destination was actually going to be. It could be where the person may have experienced more foggy conditions than the average person, and the journeys may have been a little bit chaotic. And also, too, the person may enjoy taking short trips to places that have water, whether it's by the sea or going to a river or a pond, and even going to places associated with Pisces, such as like a metaphysical expo, which can include astrology or some poetry or dancing type venue. As some examples, I would say skating as well could be another thing. Like a skating competition, anything that's related to Pisces. Mercury is also associated with the rational mind and rational thinking. So, this person, with Mercury and Pisces may be more affected, by their extraneous, surroundings, the environment, more so than most others. It can be where if the person is inundated with details, that may negatively impact the rational mind as well, because Pisces is more about the whole picture and not so much about being bombarded with details. And also drugs and alcohol. Now, I understand drugs and alcohol can adversely affect anyone's rational thinking regardless of astrological placements, but Pisces may have more susceptibility to it because it's the sign that's associated with those things. And really the thing about this too is, as far as Mercury goes in astrology, it's also connected with analysis. So Pisces Mercury people may often they may be interested in analyzing things that where deception may be involved, such as working as some investigator, seeing like checking to see a writing is forged, as an example, or analyzing of chemical compositions and things, even things of a hypothetical or imaginary, nature, such as, hypothetical sports matchups, like putting, the 1927 New York Yankees against the 1975 Cincinnati Reds in a hypothetical baseball matchup as an example, and also analyzing things connected with aquatics, the sea, something with oceanography or the metaphysical, which does again includes astrology. Now, also too, Mercury is connected with the hands and manual dexterity. So the person may, Pisces Mercury may express, or show, if there's any dexterity or ability, a person is dexterous, it may be expressed. It could be through working on fishing or boating equipment as some examples. It can be anything, something with oceanography, um, anything that has to do with that's Pisces related, that that is associated with the signs. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.